And we will also be sending the slides out too. So if you ever missed anything, you can always go back and look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hello guys, thank you guys for coming out to the BMES RISE volunteer info session. So as you might have heard, RISE is our flagship program, which is, give me a second. Oh, first of all, before that, forgot where are my manners. So my name is Alex. I'm one of the co-chairs for Comm Outreach. A little bit about me, I'm a third year bioengineering student. I am from the Bay Area, which is the best area to be from because NorCal is pretty great. And in my free time, I like to cook. I play basically any sport. I'll be able to talk with you about it too, to some level, hopefully. And I play the cello.
I agree, Julia. But hi, I'm Rohan. I'm the other co-chair. I'm from Irvine, it's SoCal. But yeah, I'm super excited for Rise this year and spending time with you guys. Yeah, I guess my interests, I like swimming, running, like science fiction, stuff like that.
And having good hair and having really good hair.
Thank you, Alex. After last week telling me I had a sombrero on my head, I appreciate that.
All good, all good. One sec. I'm kind of a boomer when it comes to Zoom. I apologize. All right. But yeah, some preliminary information about BMES here at RISE. So RISE is the program that stands for Reaching and Inspiring Students in Engineering. And it's part of the Comm Outreach branch of BMES. So as you guys know, BMES at UCLA is a pretty big organization, and we are the community service branch of BMES here at UCLA. And BMES RISE is our main flagship program, as I mentioned multiple times. But the big goal of it is to aim to bridge STEM inequality across socioeconomic and racial barriers. So what we do is we go to 2 sites throughout the year, a high school and a middle school. And both of these schools are categorized as Title I schools. So these are schools where 75% and above of the student population are on free or reduced lunches. Both of these schools also have a fairly low percentage of math and English proficiency and a high minority percentage too. So right now we're looking at about 2 or 3 visits per quarter for each site. And if you can't make the visits, but you still want to give back to your community, don't worry, we also have other community outreach events throughout the year.
Yeah, so our 2 main sites are James Madison Middle School and Fairfax High School, as Alex just mentioned. So yeah, at Madison, we have different curriculums for each site. So at Madison, we're focusing on computer-assisted design and 3D printing. So last year we did some online stuff involving biomimicry and prosthetics and splints. Yeah, we'll be continuing with that this year. And at Fairfax, it's more Arduino and circuitry based. So they'll have a final project that the students will work towards at the end of the year that you guys will help them in like achieving. And we'll also be working with Bluetooth modules. And yeah, like don't worry if these concepts seem unfamiliar to you, we'll like teach them all to you. So yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, so for James Madison, we work with a single class around 35 middle school students throughout the year. And we teach them, as I mentioned, CADing and 3D design. We use a website called Tinkercad, which is pretty intuitive. It's like not that hard to teach them. It won't be that hard for you guys to learn. And we also try to couple it with the curriculum that these students are already learning in school. So like while they're learning physics, we try to teach them physics-based applications of the topics that we're discussing. So yeah, we like also try to give it biomedical focus. So we did like basic prosthetics and splints. And like this year we will be 3D printing the designs for them, which is exciting.
Yeah, this year we got the funding actually to get a portable 3D printer. So our goal this year is to go to the middle school and flex on them by having a 3D printer in the room and hopefully printing something fairly small for them live in person so that they can go see that. And for our high school, which is Fairfax High School, we work with an after-school computer science club. So a lot of the people that come, they do have some background in computer science. And what we aim to do is we work with Arduinos and circuitry, combining with the coding aspect of using Arduinos. And we also teach them other components like potentiometers, ultrasonic sensors, and other just little modules that they can work with. When we first thought about this high school though, we identified the need that these guys are high school students. They're not elementary school students. They're not middle school students. So we thought the best way that we can provide opportunities for them through STEM is through a final project, a tangible final project that these guys can point to on their resumes. When they apply to college, they can be like, hey, I want to do STEM because I've done STEM before. Here's a project that I've done, and I want to continue doing that. So we're really happy about this. We're really excited about this site. We first started off last year. It was online, and there's some little hiccups along the way. But this year we'll be fully in person, so we're really excited to get started. And we got funding this year to work with Bluetooth modules. So we also got funding to get some smartphones that we'll be working with the kids, and they'll come up with final projects on their own, and you'll be alongside them, working to develop a final project for high school students. And yeah, so if you want to continue to get updated, because right now our dates and times of our visits aren't fully decided. We're still working that out with the school administration. There's also some forms that you have to fill out. We'll mention a few of them later on. But if you want to be updated on what's happening, if you want to get reminders, all that, join us on Discord. So the QR code over there is the QR code to join BMES's Discord server. That is where the majority of information about BMES in general, not just Comm Outreach, is posted. But if you go to Discord, on the left toolbar, there is a bunch of different categories. There is a community outreach category. And the first channel there says join outreach. The other three, the Fairfax, BMES, and other Comm Outreach events, those will technically be hidden for you. But there's a section in the join outreach where there is a breakdown of all the different sites and what they detail, in case you forgot about what we've been talking about for the past 10 minutes. If you ever want to reread that, free to. But at the end, at the bottom, there are 3 different emojis. And if you just react to one of those emojis, you'll be added to those channels: the Fairfax High School channel, the Madison Middle School channel, and the other outreach events channels. So if you ever wanted to stay updated, go on the Discord, click on those emojis, and you'll be all good to go.
So now we'll get into some general logistics that everyone will have to deal with as we are planning in-person visits. So this year, everyone, if you wanted to do a volunteer on in-person, you will have to get TB tested. So you can schedule this through Ash. You just basically, you don't I don't know if you have to do it online, but online you can just schedule it, and I think they just tell you to come in. But yeah, you just walk in and then get it done. Yeah, it's not that difficult. And we will also be
Oh, that's embarrassing. Sorry, I'm in the university apartments, and sometimes it's a little sketchy. Apologize for that. I can share my screen again too.
volunteer training workshops. So yeah, if you're unfamiliar with the material we're gonna be teaching, we'll teach it to you guys before you actually go teach it to kids in person. And we'll do this through these training workshops. And these will be held the Monday before the visit, so the same week. And usually it'll be at 6 to 7 p.m. But of course, if you can't make it, you can always schedule something with us separately, or if the majority of people can't make it, we can also change the time. But yeah, as we get closer to the visits, we'll let you guys know when and how, where we'll be meeting for these training workshops. But yeah, if you are unsure if you know the material enough, we'll definitely teach it to you, and we'll have individual so not comfortable with it. Next slide. Yeah, okay. So tentative timings for our 2 sites. So as of now, for Madison, the class that we're working with is from 12:30 to 2. So to get a general idea, if we give ourselves 1 hour of time, to get there and set up. It'll probably be in total like from 11:30 to 3. So that'll be like probably 3.5 hours. But the specific dates will be sent out later. We're planning on having like one visit per these two schools this quarter at least as of now. But yeah, the specific dates will be sent out later just because we haven't finalized that yet with the teachers, but it'll most likely be on a Wednesday or Thursday, then like week 6 or 7-ish area. And for Fairfax, these are from 3 to 5 p.m. I should have said that. But yeah, so the total visit time will probably be like from 2 to 4, 2 to 6, so around 4 hours. And yeah, it'll probably be like Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, depending on whichever happens.
Yeah. And transportation to these events will always be provided, so you guys don't need to worry about that. But yeah, to sum it up, here are some 6 great reasons for you guys to join BMES Rise. So first one is just giving back to your community. But these are schools in the LA, USDs, the local LA, Greater Los Angeles high schools and middle schools. So just giving back to your community. The second reason is that it's STEM education. So according to a study done by the Smithsonian Science Education Center, only about 2.2% of those who identify as Latino and 2.7% of those who identify as African American actually attain university STEM degrees. And the schools that we're going to have high minority percentages, there's also the socioeconomic factor as well. And as we continue, as STEM education continues to be more and more important, we really strongly believe in our goals, and we really hope that you will share the same sentiment as well. Another reason to join is just experience. I think the skills that we're working with, we specifically chose because they are some of the most valuable skills you can have in engineering, CADing and using Arduinos and coding. So you can boost that resume. Another thing is that this is a great community for you guys to get involved with. Obviously, everyone here that believes in the program is going to be great people. So the community is great, comfortable with us. And 5, it's just a lot of fun. If you ever have gone to an in-person visit, I know it's been a couple of years, but going and meeting the kids and having them interact with you and just going into car rides there, it's just a great experience overall. I have had the most amount of fun at those visits in person, and I can't wait to go back on them again this year. So we hope that you will have those same experiences as well. And 6 is, this is the least important reason, obviously, but there's this thing called clout. I don't know about you guys, but something that is prevalent within our society. But yeah, last year at the National BMES conference, the UCLA chapter, which is us, actually won the most outstanding award for comm outreach. So we were nationally recognized by the nationwide BMES organization for having a great program, the best program in the country. So we hope to continue that run this year and hope that you'll be a part of it too. But yeah, that's all we have right now. And if you guys have any questions, we'd like to open up the floor. Do you guys have any questions for us? Anything that we didn't cover? Any questions, comments, or concerns? This is when we would take them. Or was our presentation so good that we just left you guys speechless? Even with the internet cut out halfway through. You get speechless. Oh yeah, so Griff mentioned chocolate brioche. So so when we go to these visits, we do supply snacks to the kids at the visits there. But if there are extra snacks, you may be able to get some.
Yeah. Yeah. So Tanya, right now, like that, we still haven't decided which day. It will be one of those days. That's just to give you a general idea of what time of week.
Yep. And yeah, you can choose to go to both visits throughout the year, or you can just go to one visit, like one site, and choose. Very loose, depending on what works in your schedule. But the curriculum does build on itself, and we would like to have a consistent pool of mentors for these kids. So we would highly recommend going to the visits very consistently. But if something comes up in real life, obviously we're not going to force you to go to the visits. We're not going to tie you up, throw you in the van, and take you to the site.
Yeah, so if you guys are interested, I'm gonna send a link in the chat. It's gonna be like a sign up form because we will need to know your emails and phone numbers for the teachers, just for like a volunteer application. So yeah, if you guys could fill that out, that'd be great.
I feel like we spammed you guys with a lot of emails and forms recently, but I promise this is one of the last forms you'll ever fill out
Yeah,
at Common Outreach. And we are taking attendance at some of these visits as well. So I think that will double as an attendance form. So if you guys want extra brownie points to get in the good graces of BMES, no, it's just to help us keep track of who's going to these events too. So don't worry about if you couldn't make it and you're watching this online. But yeah, please fill out those forms
Yeah.
if you can.
and we'll send out the sign up form in the Discord if you were unable to make it.
Nice. I'm seeing those numbers increase on the Discord, the joint outreach channel. We'd love to see that too. Yeah, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to stop the recording in a little bit and we'll just hang around if you guys just want to hang out and talk for a little bit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. And hopefully we'll have information about this soon and we'll see you soon.